is where I want to, proceed from. You said they don't report to you. Now, part of the allegations against you is that unit in question reports only to you. They don't take instructions from your commanders. I think that was part of the testimony before the committee when previous witnesses appeared. So, sir, what's your reaction to that?
Honorable Chair, like I said, they are a unit that has been institutionalized with the commanders and a chain of command up to the national level, with a director general in charge. But when you go to the regions, it's like CID, which will work with the regional commander as one of his subordinates, and when it comes to criminal investigations, and yet they also work in tandem with the Director General CID. This is the same framework that has been used for the establishment and decentralization of the intelligence component of the police service. In the past, it's like intelligence were things that we needed to keep improving as an institution and also work across other security agencies and the intelligence component, and to make sure that this country continue to be at peace with itself. So the units are institutionalized. The units are with the regional commanders, and at the national level, they have a director general who is in charge of them, and who from time to time give us a briefing on our daily meetings, on our weekly meetings, and when we also have emergency meetings on matters of concern, and we get it done. There is nothing like anybody or a group of people out of the normal chain of command reporting to Dampara on anything. It is a lie.
IG, what is the administration, your administration's relationship with the military high command? We were given an impression that all wasn't well with the police administration and the military high command.
Honorable Chair, this is another lie just to paint you black, or typically calling a dog a bag neck and hanging. We have an excellent relationship with all the heads of the security agencies. And it's so excellent that at the end of the day, the cordiality goes beyond official work. The beauty of it is this. Constitutionally, each and every of the agencies has their role to play. And we know where we also need to work together in what I term institutional teamwork and get things done for this country. So we urge these people to stop trying to put our heads against each other. It is shameful. It's not good for this country. And you cannot do this. You should stop it. They can use any other thing to get anything that they want, but they shouldn't use that. They should be patriotic. Because that is the only place we have called home, Ghana. So in their quest to achieve their selfish interest, they shouldn't create confusion. So Honorable Chair, that is what it is. And I know that's how it sits. We'll continue to work together as various security agencies, helping each other in the interest of the country, for Ghana, our beloved country, to continue to be at peace with itself. I thank you.
I can see that your lawyer is nodding. I don't know what is intended for. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, when he said Ghana, our beloved country, I remembered the conclusion from Kwame Nkrumah, it's free forever.
Thank you. IG, you once served as the ADC to former President Mills, and COP Mensah also once served as the ADC to Vice President Akkar. Would you want to comment on that role, especially when some of the witnesses, or from our information, try to use that as a weapon against your office, in my humble view?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I'm happy you spoke to that fact. And I want to take this opportunity to urge all my colleagues in all the non-partisan institutions to keep the sanctity of that institution and stop trying to impute politics into it in a manner that will compromise its responsibility, and especially in my case, the police service, in the maintenance of law and order. And I'm happy you did mention the fact that my big brother, George, served as an ADC during President Rawlings and Vice President Akkar's time. Before him was another big brother of mine, the former Inspector General of Police, Mr. David Asante-Apietu, who also served as the ADC during President Rawlings and Vice President Akkar's regime. Then after that, ASP, I have to get the name correct, another ASP served as the ADC during President Rawlings and Vice President Akkar's and Vice President Mills' time. Then in the course of his tenure, I was also called upon to go and serve as an ADC to His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Mills. And I was there for a year and about 6 or 7 months. And I was asked to be replaced because I have become a chartered accountant, and I was going to be promoted to the rank of subtenant based on my academic qualification. So I cannot continue to serve as an ADC. So I was replaced by, that time, I'm not sure whether he was an ASP or DSP, and may his soul rest in peace, another brother of mine, Frank Kofi. So from there, all the other regimes, we have had police officers by our arrangement serving as ADC to Vice President. And you will be there, you will be called, it's a call to duty, you can't stop it. But beyond that, after serving as an ADC to Professor Mills, which was somewhere, I need to collect 2007 and 2008, thereabout, and I stand to be corrected on that. Came back to be the deputy auditor, went to UN mission, returned from the UN mission, went for further studies, returned from further studies, and came to serve as Special Assistant to Honorable Kandapa when he was the Minister for the Interior. When my father, Honorable Kandapa, was moved to Ministry of Defense, another father of mine, Honorable Kwamna Batas, came in to serve as the minister, and he maintained me as a special assistant. And thereafter, in the course of the 2007 floods, I was there in the office, and Honorable Kwamna Batas said, His Excellency President Kufuor wants to see you. I went, I was ushered in to the office of Dr. Mr. Chirin Hesse, now the Chancellor of the University of Ghana. And the idea was that the President Kufuor has found it fit to appoint me as the national coordinator for the management of the disaster. And that is how I have served Ghana outside my policing career. I thank you.
Behind you are members of POMAC, I'm sure. Members of POMAC are seated behind you. I believe so.
Yes, sir.
So that notion of you running a one-man show, because we're told that you are running a one-man show. It's all about Dampare. Dampare, Dampare, Dampare. You are not involving POMAC. And it's very, very important for us to hear from you on this, especially when it's a creation of the institution by your legislation. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, I think I addressed this question area, but I'll re-echo the fundamental points. Unfortunately, they are not on oath, so that they cannot testify on this matter. If they had been on oath, we would have heard them, what they will say. They call it United POMAP. United POMAP. That's what they call it. And it's a chain. Nobody breaks it. Unless you are going to a retirement, we take you out, and then we reconnect the chain. And I said, we can't go anywhere without making sure that they are ahead of me. We can't arrive at any destination without making sure that we account for everybody. We cannot go and sit at anywhere without making sure that everybody has a chair. And we cannot start any meeting without making sure that where is everyone? And if the person is not on leave, the person is not doing any other assignment, we make sure that we even wait for the person. So this whole idea, like I said, is trying to put certain things together to paint you black and make sure that you don't look presentable in the eyes of everybody. It is never true. And I said it fundamentally. The Lord that I serve, the God Almighty that shapes my life, He instituted teamwork. And I get incomplete when I'm not functioning in a team, because I'm not sure whether what I'm putting out there, if I've had a second thought, it will be better. In any case, I have one philosophical belief. It takes other human beings for other human beings to be human beings. So in the absence of other human beings, I feel incomplete. And knowing that it's an institution and not a sole proprietorship, and even a sole proprietorship, you still have to work with people. An institution that does not belong to me, I come and monopolize it. Then I'm not a good leader. Then I'm not a manager. And they know within their hearts of hearts that they were paddling for, so in order to package it and send it to places and make me look bad, thinking that as it has normally been done in our environment, when people go and lie about you and say all things about you, you never get opportunity to speak to the matter. It is a lie. It isn't about Dampare. It's about the police service. It's about Ghana. And it's about the peace and security of this country. I thank you.
So it's good we are giving you the opportunity to speak in public, in the presence of the witnesses who made those allegations. And my last question, Chairman. What led to that letter interdicting the two officers, which was subsequently withdrawn? Thank you very much, Chairman, for the opportunity.
Honorable Chair, I thank you very much. And that is also another thing people have used in trying to get to me. The truth of the matter is this. When all these things happen, whilst we are focused on ensuring that we work together as a team across the country and also across all the other security agencies to continue to maintain peace and security for our beloved country, then you get to a point and these things happen. And you feel pain that your own brothers can go and do this against you. But you forgive because such is nature. And the more you forgive, the more you become stronger and preserve your health. So I moved on. But I said that whatever is going on, I recuse myself from the process. So I was not part of whatever decision that was taken to interdict or de-interdict anyone. It is a matter that was considered at the police council, and they handled it in my absence. And anytime any issue about this particular incident is discussed anywhere within the police leadership, they fill my absence, because I think and I believe that is the right thing to do. And that is what happened. I am not involved in interdiction and the interdiction of anyone. I thank you.
Yes, I can observe that Siopi Mensah, the lawyer you brought, he's not said one word, but he's been drinking a lot of water, you know. My colleague, I've been observing you are drinking water. What's the matter? And even as a chairman, you see my water, I have not drank any water.
Mr. Chairman, you
Yes.
said you will not talk.
Aha.
So I was drinking the water, waiting for the lunch.
Well, I think it's very opportune to give the only female on the committee an opportunity to, interrogate the matters with IGP mounting the witness stand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chair, I think most of my questions has been exhausted by Honorable Patrick Boama, but I have one or two for my big brother and my boss as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mom. You have only two questions. The younger man who is the vice chairman, is telling me that for health considerations, we should take about maybe 5 minutes break so that people can stretch their legs, and those who want to use the washroom will do so. So, because of common humanity, I'm compelled to have the proceedings suspended for maybe 7 minutes. If you want to use the washroom, do so. If you want to stretch your legs a bit, and then we'll come back.
You see people have stepped out.
Yes. Yeah, you could see that some of your officers have stepped out, which means it's right for once, you know.
So you cannot prophesy that.
You are watching
In a world where reckless driving is rampant, one TV show dares to capture it all. Get ready for the adrenaline-pumping spectacle right here on Road Driving on Camera.
Stay alive. In my mind. Stay alive.
To the WhatsApp number 0506-771-771. As we confront the dangers head-on and fight for safer roads, together we can expose reckless drivers and cause a change in their reckless ways.
I get a lot of it when you leave me home alone, but it's never enough. I'm just happy loving you.
Nothing makes me more beautiful than being with you and in your arms. I find great peace and comfort.
That's your explanation? That's the best you could come up with? Wow. Short and precise. Well, since you've made it so easy for me to understand, Joe, let me do the same for you. It's over! short and precise. Is that good enough for you, Joe?
Now choose your words carefully. Did you tell her it was me for the last time?
No, I didn't.
Blurred Lines, showing every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and a repeat broadcast on Sunday at 10 p.m. only on GTV.
Maybe you've been on the Karimbu journey, or maybe you're just joining, but this is a new season of the celebrated quiz show, Karimbu. While the contestants answer, they win various sums of money and compete for the ultimate scholarship prize of a whopping 5,000 cedis. Karimbu is fun and enlightening. It's educative, stimulating, and rewarding. From the preliminaries to the semi-finals and finals, the students answer hundreds of questions from memory and by showing off their map reading skills. And wait, we have a surprise for season 3, where adults will also compete and donate the money to the awards. Karimbu, everybody is a winner. You can watch Karimbu on Saturdays at 10 a.m. on GTV.
Ted Spear, pastor of the Fundamental Baptist Church International in Kumasi, Ghana. I'd like to welcome you to join us here on GTV every Saturday morning from 6:30 to 7 a.m. Please join us as we discuss the scriptures each and every Saturday morning. God bless you.
Kings and nations tremble.
I want to take you guys back into time, all right? We had this amazing show. It actually made us sneak out of Sunday school.
Yes, so hey, mommy, you too.
Yes. It was a journey like no other, a tale of friendship, of bravery, of unimaginable excitement. It was Journey to the West.
Marriage of a gentleman and a lady. The perfect match.
Your Majesty, I beg you, allow me to have my travel permit returned and leave for the West.
If I had a chance like this, I'd be more than happy.
If it were you, the princess would run the other way. You're so ugly.
I think I'm ugly, except the master, we're all pretty ugly.
It was an unforgettable adventure. So we used to follow these characters. There was this courageous monk called Shifu. Yes, and he had these loyal companions.
Yes, the Monkey King.
Yes.
So mischievous.
And then you had this pig, Baje, very noble, and then there was Sandy as well. Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
Yes, they journeyed through wild mountains and ventured into lands unseen by ordinary eyes. They faced foes that would give you chills, and they formed bonds as unbreakable as the stars above.
You know what? Those were not just entertaining stories. They also taught us about strength and courage.
Really, Mommy?
Yes, my love.
Daddy, it sounds amazing. Tell us more.
Sure, you know, Journey to the West isn't just a TV series. It's a journey of self-discovery, a lesson in humility, and a celebration of the power of unity. It's also a treasure trove of Chinese culture and mythology brought to life with heartwarming storytelling and stunning visuals that captivated us when we were your age.
Wow.
Are you ready to embark on this enchanting journey together?
Yes, Daddy.
Count me in, guys.
Rediscover the magic of Journey to the West, where adventure and nostalgia blend seamlessly. Join us as we relive a classic tale that has captured hearts for generations. Watch Journey to the West on GTV every Sunday at 3 p.m. Repeat Wednesday 3 p.m. starting 10th September.
Thinking of you makes me happy. I get a lot of it when you leave me home alone, but it's never enough. I'm just happy loving you.
Nothing makes me more beautiful than being with you and in your arms. I find great peace and comfort.
That's your explanation? That's the best you could come up with? Wow. Short and precise. Well, since you made it so easy for me to understand, Joe, let me do the same for you. It's over! Short and precise! Is that good enough for you, Joe?
Now choose your words carefully. Did you tell her it was me for the last time?
No, I didn't.
Blurred Lines, showing every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and a repeat broadcast on Sunday at 10 p.m. only on GTV.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in 2016 pledged to ensure free senior high school education for every Ghanaian child through the effort of government and the Ministry of Education. The first year enrollment has risen from 308,000 in 2016 to over 500,000 students being enrolled each year under the policy, making over 1.6 million children enrolled under the policy as at 2022. The Transformation Agenda series on education exposes you to the varied and various achievements of government in the area of education, delving into the policies, interventions, achievements, and infrastructural development that has occurred under the leadership of the President. Be my guest this and every Saturday between 8 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. as we bring you documentaries across the 16 regions of Ghana on GTV. Transformation Agenda series.
Guys, come. I want to take you guys back into time, all right? We had this amazing show. It actually made us sneak out of Sunday school.
Yes, so. Hey, mommy, you too. Yes.
It was a journey like no other, a tale of friendship, of bravery, of unimaginable excitement. It was Journey to the West.
Marriage of a gentleman and a lady. The perfect match.
Your Majesty, I beg you, allow me to have my travel permit returned and leave for the West.
If I had a chance like this, I'd be more than happy.
If it were you, the princess would run the other way. You're so ugly.
I think I'm ugly, except the master, we're all pretty ugly.
It was an unforgettable adventure. So we used to follow these characters. There was this courageous monk called Shifu. Yes, and he had these loyal companions.
Yes, the Monkey King.
Yes.
So mischievous.
And then you had this pig, Baje, very noble, and then there was Sandy as well. Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
Yes, they journeyed through wild mountains and ventured into lands unseen by ordinary eyes. They faced foes that would give you chills, and they formed bonds as unbreakable as the stars above.
You know what? Those were not just entertaining stories. They also taught us about strength and courage.
Really, Mommy?
Yes, my love.
Daddy, it sounds amazing. Tell us more.
Sure, you know, Journey to the West isn't just a TV series. It's a journey of self-discovery, a lesson in humility, and a celebration of the power of unity. It's also a treasure trove of Chinese culture and mythology brought to life with heartwarming storytelling and stunning visuals that captivated us when we were your age.
Wow.
Are you ready to embark on this enchanting journey together?
Yes, Daddy.
Count me in, guys.
Rediscover the magic of Journey to the West, where adventure and nostalgia blend seamlessly. Join us as we relive a classic tale that has captured hearts for generations. Watch Journey to the West on GTV every Sunday at 3 p.m. Repeat Wednesday 3 p.m. starting 10th September 2023.
Hello, you're with me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability. United Nations statistics estimate that over 600 million people live with disability globally, and over 400 million people live with disability in Africa. 40% of Africa's population are made up of people living with disability. 10 to 15% of school-age children in Africa live with disability. Ghana's population is over 32 million, and 8% are people living with disability. How does this impact on persons with disability in terms of policy formulation, marriage and family life, education, healthcare, employment, and so on? For those of us in the disability community, discrimination and stigmatization is the root cause of almost every challenge we face. However, success only comes to those who know how to overcome their challenges and not those who know how to avoid challenges. So join me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability, as I navigate my way through the riveting stories, the unbelievable experiences, and the life-transforming journeys of persons with disability on the Helping Hand TV show.
Helping Hand TV show airs this and every Saturday at 6 p.m. only on GTV.
USA.
In touch.
Legal Directory.
All right, so I want to yield space to the only female on the committee to continue with the interrogation of the matters.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Inspector General of Police. Is he? IG, when you were answering the question posed to you by this committee, you said you know Chief Bugri Nabu to the extent that everyone knows him. Please, can you kindly tell this committee to which extent?
Honorable Chair, I know him a little bit when he was the regional chairperson for the MPP in the Northern region. Beyond that, that knowledge made me and him to be talking once in a while. And when I became IGP, he needed help with his area in terms of the number of police strength, like most people come to me to ask, in a vehicle. That is what it is.
Thank you, IG. If that is so, please can you tell this committee whether you've met him one-on-one before? And if that is so, when was the last time you met Chief Bugri Nabu? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, I can say I might have met him one or twice to the best of my recollection. And the last time I met him, if by my rough calculation, to be more than 8 months or thereabout.
Inspector General of Police, your physical contacts may be few. What about your telephone engagements?
The telephone engagement is along the same line as the physical contact.
My last. IG, I think what I'm curious about, the whole world is also curious about. From the preamble you built earlier on before you answered your questions, indicates the witnesses were a very good friend to you. At the time of this recording, can you tell this committee the relationship between you and the witnesses? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, the relationship has not changed. It has always been the same. And as you saw when we break, in spite of the fact I'm the Inspector General of Police, he's my big brother. I went to him and shook his hand, asked him how he's doing, asked him how a person I've always called as a mother is doing, and we have a very quick chat. That is what it is. And in the same vein, even my junior brothers, who I expected them to come to me, I have to walk to them. And also to tell them that it has been a while. And we have a chat. And my own kid brother wants to hug me, and I allow him to hug me. So that is how deep and how human-centered I am because it takes other human beings for me to be a complete human being.
Thank you. IG, I know you have a script, and Chief Bugri Nabu told this committee he did the recording all by himself. He went to the extent of telling the committee where he purchased the gadgets for the recordings. I therefore want to find out, how do you feel when your colleagues accuse you of masterminding the recordings and to the extent of doctoring the recordings? The tape, sorry.
Honorable Chair, as a human being, like all of us, when your own brothers have done what they did, and instead of owning up and taking responsibility and probably apologizing for us to move on, they tried to cook baseless allegation and level it and smear it against you. And without a shred of evidence, as I said earlier on, you have been asked to speak to it. I would definitely feel bad. But who am I? There's nothing I can do about it. And if I feel bad, it's to some extent, but as a Christian that I am, forgiveness is a medicine. And that is what I've just eaten. I've drunk. By going to my brothers and just letting them know that, as far as I'm concerned, whatever they have done is not an issue to me, because the Lord that I serve keep comforting me in a manner that is beyond my comprehension. So I feel no hatred, pain, or whatever towards them. They are my brothers. And their children are my kids. Because the most important thing is this. If all of us in this room, we are left, all of you leave, and it's left with them and I, and something is happening to me, they will be my only hope. So if I'm unable to build bridges with them, probably I will lose my life because they were not there to help me. In the same vein, in spite of all what has happened, if there's anything now and beyond that I think I can do, or they themselves think I can be of help for them, I will not hesitate to do that, because that's the teachings of the Bible. I thank you.
Inspector General of Police, I thought your forgiveness will abide the outcome of these investigations, because you don't know the full extent of what they have against you. So why are you forgiving so early? They've not. Cancel. Oh, you want to overrule me? Yes, because I was thinking that IG will hold his horses, and then what is going to happen is that when we recline and retire, and the evidence is being unearthed in camera, and then he will determine whether, in the face of what some people will say or will not say, that large heart of forgiveness will continue to work or not.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, my
Honorable
brother.
Chairman. I don't want to be the one that always will raise an objection. But as humorous as we want to be, Mr. Chairman, these are your last remarks about the quantum of the missiles that are waiting my client. It's somehow prejudicial. Mr. Chairman, but the way you presented it, that if it's like when somebody says unim the free throw bank, watch it at the that's the way I see it.
No, sir. In fact, I cannot predict what any of these individuals will say. I don't know it. It's a fact. That's why I keep telling you that we members of this committee, we don't have malice aforethought. So I wouldn't know.
Honorable Chairman.
Yes, sir.
So far as I am concerned, at least for now, I have everything that they have against us. And this is captured in the invitation letter. So when we get to the other bridge, we will cross it.
So you want to now agree with me that the forgiveness level of the IG has come too early? You should, repent, you should repent from dead works.
Jesus said 77 times 7. So we have not exhausted the scope.
Okay.
We are still within the limits
of
Jesus' prescription.
Okay then. So the good lady will continue.
But Honorable Chair, before she continues, I want to make the point that this issue of additional evidence against me and all that, I find it very uncomfortable. And the reason is this. We have all the issues and all the tapes here. And at the end of the day, I have been asked to speak to these issues, and I'm speaking to them. So at any point, if there's any other thing that comes up, wherever they want to be, I will speak to it. But I feel very uncomfortable when statements are made as if there is some hidden thing somewhere that will be thrown at me for me to regret, and therefore I should suspend my forgiveness to them. The second point, Honorable Chair, is as far as I'm concerned, with the clearness of conscience and with my belief in God, I know there is nothing anywhere against me. And if there is anything like that, then those who have put it together, they should think twice. But whatever it is, I stand by my forgiveness to them, and I will not change, because that is what the Lord God that I serve has made me to understand. I thank you.
Yes, I was only poking fun. I didn't intend that under this table there's a bomb that is about to be released against the IGP. And I keep telling my colleague, those who know me, they know me very well. There's nothing hidden. As a matter of fact, we find the way our secretariat is managing affairs are super excellent, because every proceedings, even the one that we are having now, they will give it to all those who are coming to appear before us. And with the greatest of respect, there is nothing that we have that we've not given you. And in fairness to the Inspector General of Police, there's nothing that anybody has given to this committee that we have not given you. So there's nothing again we have in our hands, except to say that when we go in camera, then if you said X or Y and it is bare, you say, do you have anything to substantiate it? That is with them, not with us. And I cannot tell you in advance what they are going to say. I don't have that level of clairvoyance. So please relax about what is going on and trust this committee that we are not here to shortchange anybody. There's nobody who is powerful enough to cause us to slant evidence or do something untoward to the head of anybody. Well, after all, we know where you people are, your careers, your families, and the rest of it. We are very sensitive to what is going on. We wish above all things that we never formed this committee, but it's happened. So, Inspector General of Police and your lawyer, who is my subject, you know, he's not made that confession to you. Yes, it's traditional of our Lord is me, and because of, I mean, I don't know whether it's legal fees or whatever, it's forgotten. So it's going to be good, and it's going to be very truthful. There'll be no malice aforethought. I pray you. I was only joking that, oh, you are too quick to forgive, you know. That's what I was saying. It's not there's nothing we have that won't give it to you. So nobody takes you by surprise. It is not even fair to take anybody by surprise. This committee won't do that. So the yes, please, we need to make a very important acknowledgement that we have the deputy opposition leader in the person of
minority leader.
Oh, I should use the word minority.
Well,
okay.
We are 50-50. So
We went past that word long time ago.
Ah.
There's nothing like that. I'm a minority,
Okay.
deputy minority leader.
Okay. We want to welcome in our midst a leader of the House, Honorable Ama Kofi Boa. Yes, a very, very good friend of mine. And he is the gentleman who made the statement, Aji. So take a good look at him now. And he's also one of my key brothers on the Mines and Energy Committee. We need to acknowledge him. He came to just observe proceedings. Leader, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chairman.
Yes.
I wasn't here when
we started.
But I am very sure that the substance and the reasons why this referral was made by the Speaker has really been stated. I think that at the end of the day, we all believe that we should have a professional police service at the heart of everything else, whose core objective is to ensure the safety and security of the state with professionals that are dedicated to that job. And I think that is the core of why you are here. So we are very happy to have them. I'm very proud of what they do every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader, for your kind words. It seems to me that is the purpose of everything. Yeah. So, my good lady on my right will continue.
Thank you, Chair. My last question. IG, I want all of us to disabuse the perceptions out there. From the onset of these proceedings, the evidence adduced to the fact that the tape was meant for the president. And Chief Bugri Nabu went to the extent of telling the committee that he handed over the tape to the president. I was surprised when the witnesses mentioned that you have the original tape. What can you tell the committee about this? Or what can you say about this? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, another wide allegation. I don't know which of them, my brothers who made that statement. Then I could probably ask the committee for him to go with me and tell me where I put it. Because technically, I don't have it. I don't know about it. So why should somebody come here and make such wild allegation without proving a bit of it? And then I'm asked to respond to it. Honorable Chair, I beg of you. I beg of you. I don't have it. And I pray that maybe going forward, we should make sure when people make allegations, they should provide at least a shred of evidence before maybe an invitation is made for somebody to come and speak to it. But now, looking at the proceedings and the way I feel, it's like allegations have been made, and then nobody provided a shred of evidence, and the allegations are out there in the public, and the allegations touches on my person, even though it has nothing directly to do with me, especially with all the wild allegations they are made about the management of the police service, which I do with my team, because without the word we, I can't make any pronouncement when I'm leading an organization. I don't use the word I. Then, I'm being asked to speak to allegations that have not been substantiated with a shred of evidence. Then, after I've answered the allegations, I'm being told that when there is a in-camera meeting, those people who have evidence to now substantiate an allegation. Then why couldn't we have waited for them to provide all those allegations, even though belated? Evidence, even though belated. For myself and my counsel to look at them, and probably those that extend beyond me with my management board, whom I always work in concert with, to look at them, and then we can come and apply them appropriately. But now, allegation unsubstantiated, I'm speaking to it, and my feeling is that that is the bit of it that will be for the public, but the rare game has been put is what they now have again against me. And yet we have also been told that it's not a police service which is on trial here, because we have police institutional structures to deal with anybody who has a complaint, which I know they don't have, except that the shame that have come upon them. They are trying to twist it and divert attention. And we allow them to go on that fishing expedition, acting as octopuses in their quest to find something by whatever means to affect my person and my integrity. Honorable Chair, I think we need to look at this carefully, because that is not fair. Having said that, I don't have anything. I don't know about it. And they should stop it. I thank you.
Excuse me. Inspector General of Police, with the greatest of respect, the allegation started at plenary. And the Speaker thought it wise that they should delve into the allegations. So we should be careful the manner in which we want to look at what is happening, lest it can even go to say that the Speaker was wrong. The Speaker should have, with the greatest respect, done his own homework very well and even adduce evidence before making the referral. So I crave your indulgence. It might not be palatable, but what I know, and most people know, that the so-called allegations were on the video, on the audio tape. You will call it allegations, fine. And those allegations had penetrated the realm called Ghana. It's gone viral. And some people have spoken to those matters. You are doing the same. If they cannot substantiate what they are saying, you are blessed. That's the end of the matter. But we've also been warned that we should be careful that we don't wash our dirty linen in public. So this is a very, strategic interrogation we are trying to do. Not that we didn't have a sense of doing a good job by saying that bring the substance of the matter first before we start the interrogation. Because what we had to start off with is the basic raw material, which is a video. What are we going to do about it? The audio, I'm sorry. So please, it's a sense of how you say it, but the sense of Parliament is different. Because if we are not careful, then you want to even indict the referral from the Speaker. The Speaker is not considering what we call substantive matters. You know, the Speaker is a conveyor belt of allegations. That is it. That will be the import if you push your argument too far. But let's leave it. But today, I'm sure everybody in Ghana will see that this committee has been very fair to the IGP. I have to tell you to your face. Because a window of opportunity was given to the IGP to state his position. We've not asked you for evidence, have we? We've not asked you to give us any evidence. They did the same. But the evidence, if any, will be in camera. So we don't know where we've gone wrong in this matter. But I am of the humble view that we'll give the devil his due. If there is no evidence, trust this committee to state it forcibly that the individuals here, they were on a frolic of their own. The whole thing is actuated by malice. They do not have any evidence. It to be part of our findings of fact. But how can we do the findings of fact if we don't now invite them? Would you be able to substantiate what is on the tape? This is what we are trying to do. Because the tape came first as the allegation, and we need the substance of the tape. And what can we do about it? Unless we call somebody to say whether this is your voice on the tape and the rest of it. So I know that it's a difficult moment for everybody. Institutional challenges, the rest of it. But I don't see any other way that we could have gone about what we are doing. You see, because we need to really weigh the issues critically, and then we'll have those moments. And your lawyer will be there if they are unable to substantiate it. We know how to write our report. So please, I know it's a painful moment for you, but we didn't originate the trouble. This committee didn't originate the trouble. And we didn't see any other strategic way of trying to handle a difficult matter like this, which was already in the public domain. The allegations that you are talking about has been fed the public already before we were constituted. So I crave your kind indulgence, have a little patience for us, and trust this committee that there's nothing that will do untoward. And if the evidence is in your favor, you have it. And your name will be hallowed. As for allegations, they can remain allegations, but if you can't prove it, you will say so. That X and Y couldn't prove it. If they can prove it, you will say so. That they proved it. So please, it's like that. I don't want to talk about my allegations against me. I don't want to talk about it. Even concerning this meeting. Yeah. So please, let's have some patience, and the truth will come out. You don't have to worry too much about it. Madam, do you have more issues to raise?
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chairman, I have a minor point.
You have a
minor point. Mr. Chairman, going back to where you ended and the process and whether there was a different way of structuring this process. This is taking us back to the point I made earlier. So there is a tape, video or audio, then testimonies of witnesses. The substantiation should have been done at the time that the testimonies were given. That's what has brought us to where we are. And the way it is going now, I'm beginning to get worried about the in-camera proceeding. And my proposition would be as follows: that the people who want to go and do their ex post facto substantiation.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. I crave your indulgence. Why are you trying to sort of impugn what you don't know? You don't know.
Honorable Chairman.
Oh, counsel, I crave your indulgence. You see how your client has behaved. He's taking it easy and he's going on a tangent. When I know his pain, I draw his attention that the truth will come out. But I would not want to say, sitting here, to talk about post facto what? Yes, it was us. Listen carefully. It was us, and the sense of what we got about the matter that we said, let's talk about whatever I want. Then we'll sit in camera and you bring your, what if let me ask you this question. What if they started bringing the evidence in the open, which is so embarrassing and is so serious that it will undermine national security? Then who would have been, with the greatest of respect, if you like, the unreasonable men who said everything should come into the public space? That is no exercise of discretion. If you like, let me show you the authorities. What we are doing, there's an authority for it. And I know you are a very powerful lecturer, but let's look at, I think you've paid regard to the Supreme Court authority of Raphael Kubaji and versus Asari and others. Council, you know this authority? The Supreme Court.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, let me tell you what a principle that the Supreme Court enunciated. That's what we call substantial danger of unfair prejudice. There's something like that. That if we are not careful, some matters will bring about substantial danger of unfair prejudice. And also the Supreme Court said the one who is listening to evidence should have the power of what they call discretionary exclusionary rule. That is the point. So the referee or the judge should have the power of discretionary exclusionary rule. So you can use your discretion to exclude some things because of what you and I know could have national security implications. And you could use your discretion to permit some things. So even the Supreme Court allows that this is done. But in the final analysis, I do not know that you will be shortchanged. Because look at all the space we're giving the IGP. I mean, to also, put his case across. Do you want me to go into issues of evidence?
Honorable Chairman.
Please.
So, where I was going to end would have been as follows. Once we complete this public hearing, we would beg leave of the committee and leave and go home and let the committee meet whoever has evidence to substantiate whatever. Subsequently, share that evidence with us, we'll spend time to review it and invite us back.
Council, leave that to us. I've never seen somebody going to play a football match. And as a matter of fact, is trying to determine the scores. I know you are a lawyer of repute, but leave it to the committee. And credit us with a modicum of honesty. 1, powers of discretion, and above all, common sense. Trust me, and I want to say so, and all the members here, Patrick Boama is not cheap. My brother, my vice chairman, is not cheap. These are police officers. What will be the credit to us to mess up your client, the head of the police service, and by extension, the entire service? All these matters, we've been educated about it. And we will tell you how we're going to run these matters. In fact, we need to also do serious consultations as well, because even in our meeting, I don't have to tell you everything, before we met you, some issues have come up. It's not got to do with any evidence. It's got to do with procedure, command structures, and how you treat the one in China. We will look at all these things. So please don't be apprehensive about anything. What you are going to get from this committee is that the IGP and any other witness will never be shortchanged by this committee. I want to state that forcefully, because people are calling me about it. I have to be very sensitive about what you are doing. There's nobody here that will use this platform to discredit. You won't do it. To cancel, I mean...
Chairman, thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Be rest assured. Leader, you want to leave here? Okay.
Chairman, let me thank you very much, and let me thank the committee for the work so far. And let me take the opportunity to let the police service know. The police service is not on trial. And I was very clear in my mind when I stood up on the floor of Parliament to basically call on the Speaker. And the reason I did that was because I heard voices of professional police officers, supposedly, said things that were unbelievable, that I thought should not be said. And I said to myself that, is this true? If this is true and it permeates in the police service, we need to know and address it in recommendations so that we can be sure that we have professional police service that will protect the interests of this country, especially when it comes to the stability of this country and our democracy, which is really renewed every 4 years in elections. And so, to the proud police officers that are dedicated and professionals, that are honest, that are doing the right thing, there's nothing to worry about. Precisely. And so I want to thank you. The police service is on trial. Good people of the police service are not on trial. People who are in the police service, who are turning it into a political football, are those who we want to fish out. And that's the mandate of this committee. Thank you.
Well said. Now, unknown to me, and in the background, is the Deputy Interior Minister, Honorable Nana Eya. I'm sorry, we were hiding, so we didn't see you. Yes, as an MP, this is your rightful place. I'm sorry about it, yeah. Where is the Honorable Deputy Minister? Oh, please, why don't you come and take your rightful place as a member of Parliament? You are okay here. But solidarity to the Inspector General of Police, or you came to observe proceedings? The IGP must be important, you know. Yes. I see. Good to know. You finish? Okay. Now, I'll ask a few questions, and then I won't go beyond it. And then I'll give space to my brother over here, and then I'll come to Vice if he has more things to say. I got the impression that when you are a senior police officer, you can be an ADC to anybody, and it doesn't matter who is in power. It seems to me that is your lot. Is that not so?
Honorable Chair, the most important thing is this. We are police officers who have sworn an oath to do the job of policing. And wherever you are assigned, you have no choice and you don't complain.
I got the impression you were with Professor, my lecturer in company law, one of the best lecturers I've met, of blessed memory, Professor John Evans Atamels. You know, when he was vice president, you were the AD camp, were you?
Honorable Chair, I think I've addressed this question a couple of times and did indicate that I was an ADC.
Good.
So,
yes, and I get the flow. I'm not confused at all. And also, you also helped now the National Security Minister as a special assistant. The same man.
Yes, I did.
And when he left the place, Honorable Kwame Nabatels came also an MPP man, and then you were there to assist.
Yes, I did.
Okay, fine. Now, there is something very interesting, and it is that you have been dealing with the former president, former President John Mahama, and you've been I nearly said you've been flirting, no? You've been engaging consistently. Is there any truth in that? And what is the content of your engagement?
Honorable Chair, that is incorrect. Another set of allegations, just another set of allegations, just as it is, to make it look that I'm a policeman who is doing politics. I am not. I'm a professional police officer, and I don't do such things. So it is falsehood, unless maybe they have something to prove that. But it is falsehood. It's not true. It's not true. So they should stop it. They can use any other means to get any other thing that they want, but not lying about me in a serious manner. I thank you.
Is there anything wrong?
Honorable Chair.
Let me finish. Is there anything wrong for an Inspector General of Police to be talking to the opposition leader? Is there anything wrong?
Honorable Chair, the position of Inspector General of Police, and by extension every police officer, is to serve the good people of this country, of which the former president is one of those. And there is nothing wrong with that. But there is a distinction between something that has happened and something that has not happened, and people want to create it in order to make their case look good, so as to for them to get what they want, because they know that type of information sells, and that is shameful.
Do you visit ex-president Dramani Mahama? Do you visit him?
Honorable Chair, I don't visit His Excellency the Vice and the former president. I don't.
Does he visit you?
Honorable Chair,
Chairman,
the former president does not visit me.
Will you rebuff his visits, and why?
Honorable Chair, like I said, I am a professional police officer. We are servants of the people, including His Excellency the former president. And in my earlier submission, I did say, even including a child of a week old, as long as there is a service from policing point of view to be provided, whoever is involved, I have a constitutional duty and responsibility to get it done. And that is what it is.
Good. There is would I be right to say that, I mean, in terms of rank, you are a subordinate of the IGP? Okay, fine. There is a member of Parliament here, and he's a member of the committee, and you're subordinate. And he says that he has some questions for you. I've told him that you should be careful that all the rules about the command structure and service inquiry and police council, you shouldn't write a book this afternoon. So please, honorable member, before you is your superior.
Honorable Chair.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yes.
No, I'm not
you described my colleague as he's a retired superintendent of police.
Oh, okay.
He left the service honorably, and so now there are no strings attached whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
If you put him in that pigeonhole, you know, you are mentioning service inquiry, and so it means that he could actually become the subject of an inquiry if he doesn't comport himself well in the presence of the IGP. We need to clear the air that my colleague is a retired officer, just as Honorable Ophelia is. She is also a retired police woman. She is no longer subject to the discipline of the service.
Okay.
So we need to highlight some of these things so that we are guided.
I can see the IGP's lawyer is laughing now because he knows that if these people were serving police officers, they wouldn't be sitting here. I forgive your trespasses. I forgive your trespasses. So, Honorable, the IG is before you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. I think that the Ghana Police Service is very proud to have members coming from that angle sitting in Parliament, because there are some technical issues that anytime we find ourselves in committees like this, we provide some level of expertise. And that is why even the chairman himself is confused. He thinks that having served as a police officer before, if I sit as a member of Parliament and the Inspector General of Police is before me to ask questions, I will be a bit intimidated because he used to be my boss. That is not the case. What is the case is that the IGP is happy to find some of his sons in other jurisdictions doing fantastically well and still making the police proud wherever we find ourselves. Mr. Chairman, I want to take the opportunity to let the IGP know, as you said it and I need to re-echo, the Ghana Police Service is not on trial.
Very good.
No. Yes. The Inspector General of Police is not an accused person. No. What we are doing, strictly according to our mandate, is to ensure, the bigger picture is that we should ensure that we have a better Ghana Police Service. A police service that is professional, a police service that respects the laws of this country, and a police service that can work well for us to go and sleep well. So if you head that institution, anytime we find you, we'll revere you, praying that you appreciate the fact that you are appointed to discharge a particular function. And in this broad country where you have your role to play, it is our prayer that you do it well, such that one day when you retire, as your colleagues are all gone, I work with Mr. Paul Tawiakwe, I've worked with Mr. Ahmed Al-Hassan, I have worked with Mr. David Asante-Apietu. So just be aware that one day you will also be gone. But when you are gone, what will be your legacy? The question. IG, all these things we are talking about is all about your leadership style and what is your vision? So my first question is, what is your vision as Inspector General of Ghana Police Service?
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. The first point I have to make is that even though it has been handled, even if my colleagues were to be in the service, they will still have the privilege of asking me questions and asking them, because I have a listening ear. And I keep telling my colleagues here, and they keep even teasing me with it. Because I tell them, God knows why He gave us, each one of us, 2 years and 1 month. From that analysis philosophically, I think God wants us to listen more and talk half of the time of the listening. That is why the ratio is 2:1. You listen twice, you speak once. That is my understanding. So the police I lead, I work it out in such a way that my colleagues and I, as we tour the country, engaging the police people across the country, something I've done about 92% with all my colleagues, and then engaging the personnel and the communities
Sorry, Chairman. Sorry, Aji. You know, I won't allow you to take a whole of the time because I want you to go and rest. But you answer my question. What is the vision of the IGP? Straight, just simple. Because there are questions that will follow. I just want you to state the vision, then we'll go ahead. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, allow me to finish. I was about landing so that I'm not cut halfway. And also, I will plead with you in order to ensure that I flow appropriately. I'm very measured in terms of the answers I give, and you have failed it. I know when to end it. So the important point is that this engagement gives me the privilege to hear more and work with our colleagues to use it to improve it. And even that, as I speak to you, is the part of the vision that I came onto the position with. But that vision has to be in tandem with the vision of the police service. And that is my vision. My personal vision is my commitment to work in concert with my leaders, my officers at the national level, at the regional level, at the divisional level, at the district level, at the station level, to turn the corner in terms of policing in this country. And like I said, to make the police the best institution in the country and a reference point for Africa and beyond. And this also sits well with the broad vision of the police service, which is to become a world-class police service capable of delivering a planned, democratic, protective, and peaceful services up to the standard of international best practice. So when we get to the standard of international best practice, then definitely there's every indication that we become a best institution that people can use us as a reference point when they want to set standards. So that is what it is. I thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. IG, on your appointment, you were seen by many as the constable's IGP, the sergeant's IGP. In other words, the other ranks IGP. Because you've been a constable before. You've been a sergeant before. You were seen as the senior police officer's IGP because you've traveled from ASP to where you are now. You were seen as the academics IGP. You hold a PhD. You were seen as a professional. And in fact, many of the professionals see you as one of them. And they believe that if you fail, you will not be forgiven. You had promotion speedily. In less than 7 years, you moved from constable to superintendent. And that was academic. I am referring you to regulation, the Police Service Regulation 2012. If I read Regulation 37.7, it says, that's CI 76. An officer who attains higher academic qualification is not entitled to promotion by reason only of that academic qualification. IG, this is the lacuna in this instrument from 2012 up to date. It's more than 10 years. People have gone to school, they've completed. But the law says you cannot be promoted by virtue of just having that academic certificate alone. Having benefited from academic promotions yourself, do you think it is time to look at this provision again?
Honorable Chair, this provision, like Honorable Member did refer to, has been in existence since 2012, and if I'm not mistaken, October of that year. And it has been something that has been implemented since then by all successive police administrations. And the Ghana Police Service under my watch now is ensuring compliance of that law. So our hands are tied when it comes to people who have gone to school and they are coming and they are asking for promotion. And it didn't start on the watch of this current administration. It is 11 years or more ago. And this is something that has been implemented. But unfortunately, it is being circulated around and making it feel that as if the current administration that I lead, we have denying people their promotion because they have gone to school. And then it has become difficult for me to speak to it, because after they have petitioned the police council asking for some sort of mercy in terms of this promotion, and why the police council was considering the matter, they took it to court. So it's not something that is the creation of the current administration. It is 11 or something years old, and the people involved know it. But they present the matter out there and make it look like it is the current administration which has come to invent something to deny their promotion. That is not a good thing, that you allow your selfish interest to overshadow the reputation of an institution and an individual and a team leading it now. So in terms of the attempt to change it, Honorable Chair, the law is as it is. We cannot involve ourselves as an administration in illegality as those who came before us did not involve themselves in that illegality. So if there is anything to be done about it, that would be the suggestion you are looking at. Because I am a believer of education, not for the purposes of getting a paper qualification, but a mental qualification of knowledge, and not just having the knowledge stored in your head, but the knowledge being applied. Because this is only then knowledge become power. It's not its accumulation with that application. So, Honorable Chair, until the matter is determined in court, it will be difficult for me to speak to the possible amendment or otherwise of that regulation. I thank you.
IG, I think the question is seeking to elicit an opinion from you, looking at the way the provision is couched, you know, and so we are aware that some officers have sued, but nevertheless, you know, such an opinion would not be prejudicial to what is before the courts, because this committee, if you look at the terms of reference, we have also been tasked to make recommendations which possibly could lead to legislative reform. Yeah. And so that is, I think, what the Honorable Peter had in mind. We are not dragging you into the pending litigation where you could be cited for or contempt. In any case, you are privileged because you are before Parliament. Whatever happens here, I mean, nobody can take you out and cite you for contempt for speaking to a committee of Parliament. Because you are the one who implements this particular regulation. So if it is no longer fit for purpose, I mean, you could share your thoughts with us and then we can be guided as a committee. I mean, it's very important, this particular provision.
Yes. You want to make an intervention?
No.
No.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I was just worried about the pending case.
Yes. In fact, I was going to respectfully invite the IGP to do a paper if he doesn't have confidence in this regulation. And then we will know how the minister will have to do the necessary amendments. So that's what it is. I don't want him to dilate on the entire thing, but the legal department and is coming together. You can do a paper that, look, this is very inimical to, I mean, the progress of others in the service or otherwise. So please, let's leave it as it is. But I agree with council that we should leave it as it is. And if there is any paper, you can share it with the committee, and then we look at it. Council, are you winding up?
Honorable Chair, if I may
Honorable Chair, I'm done. Once you have agreed with me.
Honorable Chair, if I may say something slightly on that matter, because I was going to end a component in respect, I was going to add a little thing in respect of that question, because my brother did refer to the privilege I had benefiting from that. But the most important thing is that I will be the last person. And in fact, the very last person to deprive anybody of his promotion. I can't even think of that. My colleagues who work with us in the context of the appointment and promotion board cannot even think of that. We work as a team. So we want it to be on record. And thank you.
So, Inspector General of Police, be good enough to give us a paper relative to the regulation 37.7, and then we'll make it part of our recommendations. Officer and Member of Parliament, are you winding up, or you have a long way to go?
Chairman, thank you very much. I just started, but you know what you did to me? Basically, what he did was make sure that I'm the last person to speak. So many of the questions will be gone, and they're actually gone. So don't worry, I will soon finish. Inspector General of Police, you and I know that when you go on parade and they say stand at ease, it is a leadership drill that is being taught even at that basic level. As you open your legs wide, one leg is on the police public, your other leg is on the general public. And when you stand well, you are relaxed. That is why we say you are at ease. At any material time that the police public is not happy or the general public is not happy, you find yourself wobbling. Commissioner Mensah says, in his opinion, you are the worst IGP in his 31-year-old career. That is his opinion. And he cited things like even assessing crime statistics these days by the public is difficult. Police public relations officers across the regions have all been shut up. They don't speak again. You are here with us, and it's an opportunity. For me, I think there's an opportunity for you to tell Ghanaians. If this assessment from Commissioner Mensah is wrong, as you alluded to initially, and you mentioned a lot of things that you are doing, I've also just mentioned two things that he also mentioned. In doing the balancing act, what will be your comment regarding public relations activities and accessibility to information from the police by the public? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, thank you. Honorable Chair, listening to the Honorable Member, I picked three of them, and maybe one is in one container. Two are in one container, and the other is in a different container. The first one, you were talking about the police community. And I can assure you, the police community is at peace with itself. Let me say this, Honorable Chair, as leaders and by godly natural design, you can't have everybody liking you. And even it will not happen that everybody will like you. Let's be very analytical on this matter. As somebody who believes in tradition and culture because of my multi-ethnic background, as a Ghanaian, everywhere you want to install a chief or a busuapeni, not everybody will agree on a candidate. Yet, at the end of the day, we get a candidate, and the rest who may not like that candidate, the leader and the leadership have to find a way of pulling everybody together. Even if you want to be very divine, let's go to the religious field, where God Almighty superintend in terms of who should be his rep in this world in connecting to us as his creation. Even in there, when a leader of a church is being appointed, they go through a process where some people may choose somebody, and then others also may choose. But at the end of the day, the one who marshals the maximum numbers become. And not everybody did that for him. And Honorable Chair, permit me to use your individual self in terms of your constituency election to become members of Parliament. Nobody voted and got 100% before coming here. And even in some cases, nobody even got 50%, especially when you have multiple candidates. So some people may be members of Parliament with about 40% or thereabout, representing a constituency made up of 100% of people. That is what it is. So in the same context within the police service, as Inspector General of Police, working with my colleagues, we as a team, we can't get everybody appreciating what we do. But this is what we do differently. Because we have what I call mindfulness mindset. We are aware of this and we try to get everybody along, in respect of whether the person likes or does not. And I've demonstrated it. These are my brothers. In spite of all what is happening, at the break, I walk through them. We have the chat. It means getting along. We may have differences, but that should not stop us from working together. So this is what we've done, pulling everybody together and having majority, a very substantial majority of the police community being so happy and falling in love with us because we won their hearts and minds in terms of what we do. And I give you about 3 of them. First, and I started this when I was the Director General Welfare. I toured almost everywhere in the country, visiting police people who are indisposed and they are in their homes. Some years, nobody has visited them. And it gave me an understanding of the suffering of some police people when they are becoming disposed and everybody has forgotten about them. So through that, we work on mechanisms and brought them to the picture and provided them with all the support that they need. It's something that I have continued when I became the Inspector General of Police. Everywhere across the country that I have been to, the 92 or thereabout %, going to every village, every town, every city across the country, I touch base and visit all police people who are indisposed. And after that, we work towards making sure that they get the needed help. That led to even the establishment of the Police Emergency Medical Intervention Fund. That can take every police officer to everywhere in the country and be provided with support. These are some of the soft touches, soft things that we do beyond all the broad things, including not denying everybody promotion and having a listening ear. But 2 more of those soft things. Anytime, anybody, and mostly at the highest level, need to be reassigned, I call them personally. Some of them, after we have discussed at POMAP, and we think that this person should go here and go there, at times we put it even across for POMAP to look and suggest names that will go to places. And I call them personally to check and plead with them based on my regimental diplomacy, so that they can go and function there, so that they go with a very positive and encouraged mindset, so that at the end of the day, where those people have issues. Maybe my child is preparing for BC, maybe I just moved my family from this place and my wife or somebody is involved in something. We consider it, and when we consider that, we stop it and then find alternative officer to handle that. Again, every police officer, including all my colleagues at the very top, brother, sister, is how I introduce them. And then, speaking to them, please, thank you, regimental diplomacy. And finally, another sort of, until recently that I've reduced it. Every day across the country, I pick one police officer in each region celebrating his birthday or her birthday, and I call to wish the person a happy birthday. All in the quest of bringing everybody on board, especially the limited number who naturally, by natural law, will not be with you, so that they also feel comfortable and belong. Imagine you are there in your district or station and receive a call, and IGP said, today is your birthday, and I want to wish you a happy birthday. There have been 2 instances that I have been in a region, Nicodemously organized for a cake, and walk to a police station and handing over the cake to the person, and then becomes a party there and then. So we know that not everybody will like us, but we have a way of making sure that everybody feel belong. And we've done that with my colleagues as a team and getting to that. Now coming to the other issue of the Public Affairs Department. Honorable Chair, it is something we have discussed at POMAP, agree upon a strategy for redefining our engagement with the public in a manner that sits well with international best practice. You have had a system where you get up in the morning, everybody across the country, across at times district, division, and regional level, granting interviews on matters of police from a perspective that at times not informed by the full facts. And at the end of it all, when the facts come, the organization look unpresentable, and you keep dampening the spirit of the organization and continue to smear the image of the service in bad light. So we agreed at POMAP that we need to redefine it as part of our transformation agenda, such that at the end of the day, before you speak to a matter, be sure that you have the full facts, so that gradually we will create a system where something happened and the whole community, the whole people will say that until the police have come out, we don't believe what is being said. Rather than having a system where everybody is talking, would have truth, and putting the police in bad light because people think that it's coming from the police, it's not creditworthy. How can we then win the hearts and minds of the public for them to partner with us to police them in a manner that will make the country feel at peace? So all this matter is not the invention of Dampari. It is something that we've looked at and then got all the commanders at all levels involved and get their inputs before it's handled. Because I quite remember a police management with regional commanders meetings were held, and all the PROs were brought, and they deliberated on this, and we all saw that this is good for the organization. Then the question that came, then how do we do things and inform the public timely so that there won't be any gap? Then we said that we will not sit down for things to happen on Friday and we behave as if we are not a security institution. We said that it is in the weekend, so we will inform the public the next day, the next Monday. But we know, from my little understanding of media and information space, it's like a chair. Whoever walks in first sits on it. And you cannot come and sit on top of him or her. By that time, the public might have been informed or misinformed based on that information. So we need to have a very efficient way of getting information there as soon as possible. That is why you see that in recent times, information from police across all our media space are delivered on matters as soon as we have the full facts that will inform the public to continue to deepen their trust, confidence, and respect for us. We do that irrespective of the time of the day. You can have us seen coming out with information in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the night, at dawn. And at times when you release information at dawn, then you hear the next day people are saying, these people, don't they sleep? Because we love what we do, and we are committed doing it. So we are living international best practice. And this has redefined the way we go about pushing half-truth there and using that to dampen the spirit of the organization. And finally, we have even gone to the extent of ensuring that when that information is out there, there is no way it becomes something that people cannot rely on. So, Honorable Chair, there is nothing that we are doing that is not informed by our strategy to transform and become the best institution in the country and reference point for the world. And by way of example, internationally and nationally, we are also learning from other institutions the way they conduct their public affairs. So the international standards we are looking for is both national in character and an international also in character or design. So we are very focused in working together as a team and with the public and with all stakeholders, including Parliament, to ensure that we have the best police service in Africa and beyond. I thank you.
Please, let me just, okay.
Yes, the gentleman over here has covenanted with me to ask just one more question, and I come to Vice, because we are about to conclude today's proceedings. So, Honorable, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I have one question, and then I will just make it very brief. It is in two parts, A and B. The A is just requiring you to say yes or no. The A is requiring you to just say yes or no. IG, has Chief Buguru Nabu ever lobbied for you to become or to be appointed Inspector General of Police? Just yes or no.
Honorable Chair, the fundamental point is this. I have been in the service for all this long. By the grace of God.
Aji, I crave your kind indulgence. Your man is saying just answer yes or no. Was he part of the lobbying team to get you, appointed as the IG? Yes or no?
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
The answer is no.
IG, you should count yourself very lucky that you found a parliamentary committee telling you that this document here, CI 76, should be reviewed. I'm sure if you wanted to review it and you wanted to get parliamentarians to listen to you, you go through a lot of frustration. So this is free counseling. The last question. You and I know that if a police regional commander reports to you that a particular district commander doesn't have the capacity to become a district commander, and he wants you to transfer him or her, the question you'll be asking is, where should I send him or her to? What have you done about the incapacity or incompetence of such an officer? You have a responsibility to recommend capacity building for such an officer so that the person will be updated for use. You can't abandon an officer and the government will be paying such a person at your level. If you find an assistant commissioner, a chief superintendent of police, probably 6-7 years in his rank, not being promoted by virtue of the fact that the person's competence level is questionable, IGP, two options: abandon to rot or spend money to build capacity and promote and use? Which one will be your choice? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, the most important thing is that it's something that we have found a way of deliberating upon it since I came on board as the head of the organization. And my colleagues and I, we've not been able to agree, and knowing the point I've made here, that I've always been a team player. And once we've not have a solid consensus, that has been the bane of the issue. But I can assure you, it's a deep reflection for us, and we are going to look at it and work with God's speed and get that thing handled in a manner that everybody will feel at peace. I thank you.
Now, Vice Chair.
This question may not sound palatable to the ears of the political class, but nevertheless I would ask, with your kind permission, Chairman, IGP, it has been said here that you are in the habit of arresting politicians for traffic infractions. An example was given to the effect that a second vice chairman of a political party was arrested by they said you. What is your reaction to this? Do you have applied your laws in a targeted manner with the aim to fishing out politicians and dealing with them, so to speak? I need your reaction to this because it's very important, you know.
Honorable Chair, the most important thing is this. I am the Inspector General of Police. I work in concert with my officers at POMAB and all other commanders across the country. As we sit here, people have been arrested in accordance with law. I am not the one doing the arrest. So I have not personally arrested anybody by being discriminatory. It's just that police officers are out there doing their work of enforcing the law. And then they are not doing it on my instructions. They are doing it in accordance with the laws of the country which have been passed by Parliament. So this is exactly what they are doing out there. And we understand the discomfort that such arrests by these officers happen. And I pray and wish that as a country we'll get to a point where our compliance with law will be such that those arrests will not even arise. Because, Honorable Chair, you agree with me. When my colleagues and I had opportunity with this privilege, and once again, with appreciation to Mr. President for appointing me as the Inspector General of Police, in our quest to transform, we saw that indiscipline on our roads were getting to a point of no return. And the number of accidents and the associated death or injuries leading to amputation of legs and hands and other parts of the body was becoming something unthinkable. So we decided to work in a way that will send the right message to everybody that let us come back to our Ghanaianness of being disciplined for the sake of the lives of everybody. So the arrest of people is so unpleasant to the leadership of the police service, especially when they're involved in people occupying important positions in society. Not to say that anybody is above the law in a way, but to make the point that we wanted as a team and as an institution responsible for the work that they are doing to encourage everybody to be in compliance. And the level that the thing has gotten to, we needed to come out with something that will send a message, which as we speak, it has been sent. Now look at the sanity on our roads. Look at the number of lives being saved. And let's go to the hospitals and find out the reduction in amputation of legs, hands, and other parts of people's body because somebody is being disciplined on the road. And as I keep saying, if you have had patience enough to be in our mother's womb for 9 months before birth, you should be patient enough to wait for 2 minutes or less for a traffic light to come green. Or be patient enough to knowing that I'm traveling and I need to catch my flight. And the flight is, say, at 2 o'clock. To finish everything and get to the port before that, than to be in hurry and then be in the middle or some other places impeding the free flow of traffic. The questions that we normally ask. So touch wood. Supposing whilst you were going, you knock somebody down, what will you do? Will you still continue the journey or you will stop? So putting all this together, we were mindful of what it is that needs to be done in order to regain the consciousness of the people so as to save life. And the final thing in relation to that is the arrest of motorbikes under one of the initiatives that my colleagues and I have put in place called Operation Parry, Police Action Against Rider Indiscipline. We looked at it and we said that riders crossing red light, left, right, center, driving on pavement and all that is also another bigger problem. But we cannot apply the same methodology for dealing with the vehicles to the riders. Because these riders, that is the riding he or she does, mostly he, for his livelihood. And at times, even the value of the motorbike that you are using is at times less than 1,000 Ghana cedis, or maximum some 2,000, 3,000. And they do this indiscipline, and you arrest such a driver, such a rider, and you send him or her to court, and the court found him or her guilty, and say that you are supposed to pay a fine of, say, about 1,000. Even if he sells the motorbike, he won't be able to raise the money. So we've been circumspect, and we don't send those people to court. We rather get them arrested, educate them, and then release them, and keep the education going. And out of that, we even established rider ambassador, police riders ambassador, to continue to engage these people, so that together we bring discipline on our roads in our communities. And this has led to the reduction that we have out there, and that led to the situation for a long time, having riders average of about 90%. We are still on there. We haven't got it to 100% yet. Stopping at traffic light and waiting for the green to signal before they move on. I thank you.
So, yes, Vice will ask his last question, and then we bring proceedings to a close.
Thank you, Chairman, for granting me the opportunity to, but I've exhausted my questions. Okay. I have exhausted my questions.
Right.
So.
I want to read to the benefit of the witnesses before this committee. And I want to call attention to bear on Article 103(6) of the Constitution. A committee appointed under this article shall have the powers, rights, and privileges of the High Court or a justice of the High Court at a trial for A, enforcing the attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, affirmation or otherwise, compelling the production of documents, and C, issuing a commission or request to examine witnesses abroad. We had an issue with Bugri Nabu, who said because of issues of chieftaincy, National House of Chiefs meeting, he couldn't show up today. And we obliged him that he should come tomorrow. So tomorrow is a sitting of this committee. We are also asking the Minister for National Security to appear tomorrow. So, Inspector General of Police, I know you are a very busy man. Tomorrow, come with your 2 lawyers as we continue proceedings. When we meet, you have a sense of where we are going with this matter. But all that will happen will relate to, first of all, the audio, which it is being said is doctored, and then the second audio that is being said captures the comprehensiveness of the meeting in Chief Bugri Nabu's office. So, Council, I read, the Constitution not for the benefit of the IGP, but for your benefit, because of where you were treading. And we will see how it pans out tomorrow. But if the IGP could say some of your senior officers, should remain at post, so they don't all come over. It could be good, so that they'll be attending to businesses in the police headquarters. But we've seen them and respect their coming. Yeah. Yeah?
Your member from Etiwa.
Yes. Yes.
He says Kwame Jan is a political mentor.
We have in our midst also one of the decent ladies who glorify womanhood in the political arena. She's a Deputy Minister for Finance, Honorable Abna Asari. You have some association with the Lawyer Kwame Jan, or what is it?
With both of them. They are all from Etiwa, and that's why I'm here today. Yeah. Yes. Lawyer Kwame Jan and the IGP.
I didn't know this, I didn't know. It's a fact. He's never told me.
Man is from Moso, Akrofu Moso.
I've never done that. I've never investigated the IGP. As to where he comes from, I've never attempted that.
Chairman, and yet you are the attacher of Chebi.
Yes. Yes, but the 2 people are all my subjects, this gentleman and then Abna, but she's not giving me the largesse of her office. And I leave it to God. So, Aji, this is how tomorrow's proceedings are going to begin. Bugri Nabu will be here. You should come. I think by this medium he's hearing my voice. You come with his lawyers of consequence. The witnesses should come back tomorrow with their lawyers. The Inspector General of Police should come with his lawyers. The Minister for National Security should show up with his lawyers, and the proceedings will continue. I was glad when I heard IG saying that in relation to arresting politicians with vehicles and they are in a rush, there is also arrest of individuals using motorbikes. But the police establishment exercises discretion in the manner in which they apply the sanctions. The politicians go and pay the huge fines, and then the dispatch, the motor people are educated. You see, I think it's a very fair and reasonable way of human engagement. So tomorrow I will exercise a similar discretion. Yes, and on this note, oh, okay, yes, Honorable Honorable Nogbe Ernest from Ashiaman, you are most welcome. You are most welcome. We thank you for joining us. So tomorrow's time is 10 a.m. in the forenoon, and we hope to see all the individuals here, and then we'll proceed. We appreciate your coming, and in the absence of any other matter, Aji, you want to say a word? Yeah.
Yes, Honorable Chair. By way of my concluding remark, because I know after you have spoken, I won't have the opportunity to speak. Having said that, I want first of all to thank you and the members of the committee for the invitation to come and to speak. I also would like to thank my family, the Achim one, the Kwawu one, the Kropon one, and the Nkonya representing the Guams one, for the encouragement and the support. I also want to thank the church of my birth and my upbringing, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, for their prayers and support across the country. And again, I want to thank the church of my baptism and fellowship, the Church of Pentecost, from chairman himself to the least person, for their continual prayer support towards me. And more importantly, I want to thank Mr. President for his continual repose in trust in me and the support he gives me. And finally, I want to thank the good people of Ghana, for their words of encouragement, their support, and everything. In the context of thanking the good people of Ghana, I want also to thank the thousands of police officers across the country for the excellent job that they are doing, and the many sending me letters of encouragement, words of encouragement, phone calls, and everything. And I assure them that I will continue doing my best in that capacity, in service of God and in country. I thank you very much, sir.
Well, it's good you came, and God permitting, tomorrow we'll continue the proceedings. On that note, the proceedings are hereby adjourned to tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. And on that note as well, the head of Ghana's police service and all the witnesses are discharged. Thank you very much.